gain agreement instantly with this dark psychology trick, Nirvana Fallacy explained. The concept of gaining instant agreement through dark psychology tricks often involves exploiting cognitive biases and emotional vulnerabilities. One such tactic is the Nirvana Fallacy, a cognitive bias where an individual rejects a proposed solution because it is not perfect, despite it being an improvement. This fallacy can be leveraged to manipulate others into agreeing with a flawed or questionable proposal by presenting it as the only viable option. To understand the Nirvana Fallacy, consider a scenario where a team is brainstorming ideas to improve a company's product. One member suggests a feasible solution that addresses some of the current issues. However, another team member dismisses the idea, arguing that it doesn't solve all the problems or create a perfect product. This rejection of a realistic improvement in favor of an unattainable ideal exemplifies the Nirvana Fallacy. Dark psychology exploits the Nirvana Fallacy by strategically framing proposals or ideas as the only option, creating a false dichotomy between the presented solution and an unattainable perfect outcome. This can manipulate individuals into accepting a suboptimal or even harmful proposal simply because it is positioned as the sole alternative. In interpersonal relationships, the Nirvana Fallacy can be utilized to gain agreement or compliance. For instance, an individual might present a problematic course of action as the only viable solution to a pressing issue, exploiting the other person's desire for a perfect resolution. By framing the proposal as the best and only option, the manipulator increases the likelihood of gaining agreement, even if the suggested solution is flawed or unfavorable. Understanding the psychology behind the Nirvana Fallacy is crucial for individuals to recognize when they are being manipulated. It requires a critical evaluation of presented options, acknowledging that perfection is often unattainable, and embracing incremental improvements rather than rejecting viable solutions based on an unrealistic standard. Dark psychology also involves the manipulation of emotions to achieve instant agreement. Emotional manipulation taps into individuals' feelings, fears, and desires to influence their decision-making. One common emotional manipulation tactic is guilt tripping, where an individual uses guilt as a tool to make others comply with their wishes. For example, in a workplace setting, a colleague might guilt trip a team member into taking on additional tasks by emphasizing how their success is crucial for the overall well-being of the team. By playing on the individual's sense of responsibility and desire to contribute, the manipulator increases the likelihood of instant agreement. Another emotional manipulation technique involves exploiting a person's insecurities. Manipulators may use subtle or overt tactics to make individuals feel inadequate or uncertain, creating a dependence on the manipulator for reassurance or guidance. This emotional vulnerability can be harnessed to gain quick agreement to proposals or requests. In the context of the Nirvana Fallacy, emotional manipulation may involve evoking a sense of urgency or fear to make the flawed proposal seem like the only option to avoid dire consequences. By playing on the individual's emotions and creating a perceived crisis, the manipulator increases the likelihood of gaining instant agreement. It is essential for individuals to develop emotional intelligence and awareness to recognize when they are being emotionally manipulated. This involves understanding one's own emotions, recognizing emotional manipulation tactics, and being able to respond rationally rather than reacting impulsively to emotional triggers. In conclusion, the Nirvana Fallacy is a cognitive bias that can be exploited within the realm of dark psychology to gain instant agreement. By presenting a flawed proposal as the only viable option and creating a false dichotomy with an unattainable perfect solution, manipulators can manipulate individuals into accepting unfavorable outcomes. Additionally, emotional manipulation, such as guilt tripping and exploiting insecurities, further enhances the effectiveness of this dark psychology trick. Recognizing these tactics and developing critical thinking and emotional intelligence are crucial for individuals to protect themselves from manipulation and make informed decisions.